What is going on, everybody here? Hey, how's it going? Welcome, and more welcome. Lalo being such a psychopath. Yes, I love it all. How are you guys doing today? I hope everyone's doing well. So I guess we got to talk about that video, right? What do you think? Was it, was it like a substantial? No, that's not the word. Was it like a? Would you consider that like the April Fool's video for the year? I know it's not topping magic meth that can bring people back to life, but hey, you got to count your wins where they can. Big shout out to everyone who did enjoy it and who joined the live chat for the video. I was paying very close attention to all that. So hey, thank you very much to everybody. And so I guess first things first, let's just talk about the video really quick. So this was Howard Hamlin, completely different than what we know him as. And honestly, in my personal opinion, let's just talk about it for a second. You got Howard Hamlin, who for the entirety of season 6 of Better Call Saul was just bullied by Kim and Jimmy. Whether that's them dropping drugs inside his locker, sending prostitutes to his plate, to lunches and stuff like that, throwing bowling balls on the man's cars. Like, he was just pushed and pushed and pushed. And then next thing you know, he's just embarrassed publicly in front of all of his colleagues and called say what you want. That whole Mr. Hamlin, your eyes, and then you see his eyes all like dilated. Dude, like that would have made anybody just snap, like to the point where it's just like, yeah, okay, I can see how someone like this would definitely go a little crazy. So when I was writing that script, that's the idea I had. I was thinking kind of, I'm waiting a little bit longer before the whole YouTube cursing threshold gets away. But I'm kind of putting that in the vibes of just someone who's unhinged. And I personally feel going through that much abuse from um a third party, yeah, you're gonna feel some type of way. You're gonna do some things such as maybe grab your little and go to someone's house and let's see what's going on, and the whole and I know I seen a lot in the chat. I forgot his name, the big L, big something, big something. He was like, "Yo, what the fuck is going? I mean, what is up with this legal jargon here? Like, you can't get a confession from someone holding me at gunpoint." And hey, I never claimed to know how the law works. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just talking shit. You know what I mean? And I would expect it's like, okay, that's pretty funny. But now, like watching it with you guys, I'm like, oh man, maybe should I continue the story? Like should I make something more to it? And because I guess there is a lot of loose ends that are there, such as Mike being publicly outed, and then Tim Roberts also having that information and stuff. But I don't know, and I guess towards the very end, my whole thing was, well, their lives are ruined now. They got publicly outed, and let's just put the legality to the side. Howard's attempt at ruining them with with wearing the wire worked. It worked. Howard won at the cost of his own life, but he won. Like you can't take that away from the man. He won. Or died trying. And now they're on the run. Jimmy got one leg. Kim is miserable. Like, they lost everything. So, I feel like, yeah, Howard won. But then it's like, how would this impact the story going forward? Because in my opinion, how I wrote it is, yeah, yeah, Jimmy did say everything that he was a part of, and yeah, he didn't mention Mike. I'm just gonna say it right here, right now. He did not say Mike Ehrmantraut. Let's just say he said Mike said someone named Mike saved him. And that's all he knows. And I'm sure Mike would say the same thing. Hey, that's all I know. And so at the end of the day, it's basically just a story in Breaking Bad anyway that just doesn't include Saul Goodman. But no, I was gonna say maybe he rolls back into the screen, but he doesn't. Like, what is he gonna do? You know what I mean? So yeah. So let's just say that happens. But I'm not really gonna be focused on a part two to that right now, just because I'm like, yeah, let's just keep the shit moving because I got some ideas for some other stuff and maybe some sequel ideas as well. But I'm noticing even a pattern in myself where I'm just making a lot of videos that are open for sequels, and I'm doing that on purpose because I want to, I got, I'm gonna have some free time coming up later on in the next month, so I want to basically continue all those and wrap up all those open storylines. So, yeah, some of this is on purpose. I'll be honest, I don't really have a plan for where this is actually gonna go. Big shout out to Jaquez. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate you. Shout out to Jack. Oh, that's right. J Quiz. I don't know what the fuck this. I don't know what I just did. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for the donation. Let me just answer your question really quick. Not really. Well, let's see. What if Saul shot Jesse in Confessions? I'm assuming he meant when Jesse came back in and beat the life out of Saul. Like, huh? That's a good question, honestly, because just immediately going to my mind, like, okay, he shoots Jesse and he kills him. Saul is more than capable of making someone disappear. And I'm sure telling Walter wouldn't exactly be the greatest of news. Huh, Jay Quiz, you may be onto something there, buddy. I'm thinking that's a good one. Because, sticking with Jay Quiz's, just think about it, because at that point in time, Walter basically said his goodbyes to Jesse. Right, he's waiting for the disappear to come. He figures out the cigarettes or sabotage. The next thing you know, he goes back. He goes back to Saul's office and beat him up. But then Saul gets a gun, and you might be on. Damn it! You're doing it to me early, guys. You're doing it to me early. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll keep that one there. That's gonna be my rainy day idea. But yeah, but getting back to the video, yeah. So at the end of the day, I I made the video how I made it. Excusing all the legalities aside. Shout out to you, Captain Caramel, because you were trying to help me too as well. That dude who was talking about the big something. I forget LS the big S. I don't know. But I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know the legalities that well. I'm sorry. Maybe I should. That should be very important. But I just thought it'd be a funny story to tell. Because at the end of the day, I kind of feel like if you're being that detailed and specific with a quote unquote confession, even if you are held at gunpoint, there's got to be some sort of moniker of truth in there. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, yeah, I was walking through the desert with these cartel members and, I did all this other stuff. I had the D-Day plans. Here it is right here behind the fucking picture that I have on my wall. So it could have, like it could be at least examined, and then from there it's like now from that recording to now we have Howard Hamlin who's missing, right? And then we also have Kim and Jimmy who's also missing. So it's one of those things, even if Tim were to investigate it, he's like, okay, we are onto something because now we got this confession, but we don't have the bodies. We don't have the people who actually did this. So where are they? At the very least, they're going to be wanted for questioning and questions that they frankly can't answer. So this is me. Maybe I'm being insecure at this point because I'm like, yeah, it is a good idea. You see, I made sense, but hey, I'm taking in all that consideration and all the feedback and stuff like that. Why would Lalo be at their apartment if they were lying? Yeah, defenders. Hey, I appreciate it. That's a good question. But I mean, hey, let's see. I guess it depends on how many comments I get about it because I guess that's the real that's gonna be the real barometer because depending on all the comedy comments I get about it, I'm like, oh man, maybe I should just refer people to this live right here and be like, yo, my boy fucking Dunce Balboa said it all right then and there. If they were lying, why is Lalo at their house with a gun? Honestly, without Lalo catching the suspect and good yeah. Yeah, Mike would, yeah, definitely cover Lalo's death. Okay, so So with that video aside, and I do appreciate you guys, everyone kind of weighing in and giving their 2 cents. But at the end of the day, I just want to see some. Let me see some hearts in the chat. Overall, did we like it? If we didn't, let's see that yellow emoji with the eyes poking out. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, okay. Yeah. All right, we got some everyone liked it too. I mean, I'm granted I'm not seeing 32 hearts. It's not giving me a counter, but no one's giving me that yellow emoji. So, hey, it's nice to know that people liked it, and at least it's a great April Fool's one because it's like, hey guys, you know, I had to work with what I had, and all I really had was one still image of Howard pointing a gun. So, I think overall I made it happen. So, thank you very much. How I felt, huh? Hey, yes. So this is one is for yes, bro. I'm sorry. Hey, this is all. I'm just. I tried. I tried. I don't. You know. I'm not. I never claimed to be anything more than a writer. You know. And even then, shit. It's lightning outside. Sorry. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that came through, but yes. Hey, I felt at the end of the very end of the day, I felt the video at least was it made sense. Let's just can we say that? Can we at least say that? Like it made sense. Not maybe not dollars, but it made sense. Eh. Dad joke, I'm sorry. All right, this next topic here. What am I doing next, right? What's the next video you're doing, Merge? How's that happening for you? What you doing? What's going on? What are you making? It's up to Poil Standards, great. Okay, so this all right. This is my next video idea, guys. And I'm gonna be honest, you might be like, really, you're doing that shit? And my answer to that is yes, I am doing that shit. And that is gonna be a video inspired by Ula the Watcher. Hold that thought. We'll talk about that real soon. You know, I gotta give everyone the lowdown first. You know, the catch up. All right, so right at 12 minutes. So the next video I'm doing is, and I'm gonna title it like this, but it is a video inspired by my good friend Turtle. And if no one who knows who my good friend Turtle is, he's the one who donated me $12 and I posted it. I made like a post of it. And the very next day, he donated another $12. And everyone was picking on my man because they thought he was a shitty idea, it was a trash idea, or whatever the case is. And I'm just like, bro, it's a solid idea. I mean, I can make it work, you know. And that idea is, the title is, "What if Nacho killed Lalo?" Eh? But his suggestion was, what if Lalo broke his legs when he jumped onto Jimmy's car in the desert? It's kind of ridiculous, yes, but I can make it work. You know what I mean? Hey, his legs broke. You know, he overestimated. You know, he overjumped. You know what I mean? And shit. I mean, honestly, that part is the least important part of it all because I wrote. I think it's like I got like 5 or 6 pages written about it, where it's like, okay, I got the beginning down packed, and then of course, you know, and then I got the ending written. I got the ending, and you know, everything. I just kind of got to proofread it and stuff like that. It's definitely going to be something that I record I'm probably going to proofread it today, so I'm probably either going to record it maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, but somewhere it's gonna be there because it's sad, to be honest with you. Like it's a pretty sad story, and I'm for it. Best rice audio comes the beat right. But hold on, let me switch my little pop out. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so that's gonna be my next video. What if Nacho killed Lalo? You know, because that's gonna be quite the video. You know, is Nacho gonna actually get his happy ending? We'll see. I can't say for sure. We will see. But that is gonna be my next video that I'm gonna be doing for sure. Hey, for sure. Jay Quiz, you come here again. Oh my boy, I gotta like you. I like this. Thank you very much again, Jay Quiz, for the $1.99. What if Hector killed Gus instead of Max? Uh, I'm gonna answer this question, and don't take this. This is not on Jay Quiz. You know, you didn't do anything to. This is not on you. But I get this question a lot. And the only way to make sense of that is basically having to invent a character, right? Because we don't know who Max is. And if I had to guess who Max is, if I had to like just make the assumption, I'm like, okay, this guy is clearly like a Walter White type, as far as smarts goes, because he had the idea of making meth and, selling to the bikers. Gus is clearly the business side of things and all that other stuff. Oh, yeah. I had a fucking... Fuck. All right. So Gus was the business side, and Max is like a Walter White smart genius type. Gus put him to school and all this other stuff. But the thing is, you don't really know that much about, does Max have resources? You don't know anything about Max. So for me, I can't even for him. For Max, I can't even like paint that picture of, okay, what is this really going? What is that gonna look like? What does that regime look like? So exactly. Thank you, Darcy. Thank you. But so that's the only reason why I've never gone through with it. Like Max living, the last video I've done, one of the reasons why I felt that one was more doable is because Max being with Gus fundamentally changes who Gus is, versus taking Max away from Gus turns him into the psychopathic killer. So obviously I'm just working, okay, what's the opposite of a psychopathic killer? I mean, he's maybe still a killer, but maybe less of a psychopath. He's more of like, hey, I'm just gonna kill people. I don't really have the passion to keep you alive and have this fucking, 20-year-long battle. I'm just gonna kill you now. Hence Hector Salamanca and stuff like that. So I felt like him keeping Max alive just changes the character of Gus. And a lot of people, I see it in the comics, a lot of people were just like, I mean, what's the point of keeping Max alive if you didn't do anything with him? Granted, I did not do anything with him, but it's about how the changes that occur when someone you have someone versus not having someone. I felt like that made sense to me, but I get the idea of like, okay, well, what are you gonna do with them? And for the part 2 of the Breaking Bad side of that video, yeah, I'm gonna do something with him. Like maybe he and Walter are like best buddies, and Gus gets jealous of that, and maybe I don't fucking something along those lines. But I'm definitely gonna some people are gonna have to die or win. Who knows? Maybe because I did title the video "What if Gus won?" So hey, what if he did win? What if he just hey, cool. I just need to study under you for maybe like 1 or 2 cooks just to get it. And then after that, we can kill Walter and Jesse. It's fine. So who knows? Maybe that's a route I want to take it. But that's the reason why I've never done that idea in particular. Just because we don't know who Max is. And last time I created a character, everybody hated that video, i.e., and I get why, but still, when I made the what if Lalo didn't kill Howard video and stuff like that, and he got killed by some random dude named Gary. But hey, that's just how the world works sometimes. Shout out to Devin Baker what a name. Devin Baker Cat Peach. What if Jesse killed Hank in self-defense? What if Jesse killed Hank in self-defense? You're going to have to give me a little bit more than that, because I can't recall a single time where Jesse had Hank in a position where, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Hank, you better not, or else I'm gonna, you know what I mean? I don't think what if Jesse killed Hank in self-defense? I mean, is this going to be like another one of those? I mean, I just did it, like, hey, what if Jesse knew karate and stuff like that, and instead of getting punched, he effortlessly weaved through the punch in the sky, grabbing his arm and then doing a hip toss. Like, I don't know. Yeah, you're going to have to give me some more than that, Devin. I mean, I appreciate the $2. When Hank broke in, if he had a gun. Nah, I can't do that. hold on. It is raining. Side note, I was gonna go outside and, you know, do what I do outside, but it's raining pretty hard. Jesus. All right, yeah. So let me just follow up on that question, Devin. When he broke in, if he had a gun, I'm gonna just say, if he did, if Jesse had a gun at that point when Hank punched him in the face. I don't know. Wait a minute. No, I don't know. I can't really see it, you know. What? To my boy Turbo Man. Do you do outside? Yes, sir. That is exactly what's going on outside. But right now it's raining really, really hard, and I don't have any umbrella or anything outside to keep me dry. So we're gonna be hanging out together. We gotta be hanging out together, Heisenverse. Jay Quiz, my man, you got a lot of my man got a lot of questions, and I got a whole lot of answers. So thank you very much for the donation again. Let me just get back to my man Devin really quick, Miss Cat Peach. Um, so yeah, let's just say I can't put Jesse in a position where he kills Hank in self defense because the only way I can do the only way that can happen is if somehow he kills himself as well, and I think that will involve maybe I don't know, maybe during the house fire, maybe when Jesse, no, he can't even do that. I can't. I can't. Right now, nothing's coming to mind. I'm sorry. Jay Quiz again, my man. All right. What if Breaking Bad took place in another state? Mm, I mean, I think originally it was supposed to take place in California, but they went to Mexico for tax cuts reasons. I don't know. Because I feel like if you put it in Florida, that's too Dexter. If you put it, hmm. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really sure how that will change the story. Like if he's in a different state, Alaska would be funny. That would be funny. I don't know. I wouldn't. Personally, I felt like New Mexico is fine, but I don't really think it makes much of a difference where they are as long as meth is there. So, it's doesn't really make a whole lot of difference in my opinion. I mean, if you guys think of something different about how the state could change, because I feel like first of all, let me just say, when I was watching Breaking Bad for the very first time, you obviously see a lot of desert landscapes, right? And I'm thinking like, man, it must be hot. Why is everyone in Breaking Bad in the desert wearing a jacket or a coat or a suit? You know what I mean? Like these people, you see the desert, like the sun is beaming down, but apparently during that time it was cold. Like it was like, yeah, it was so cold, the wind was blowing this and that. And I'm just like, wow, really? It was cold. It doesn't look cold. Like, and let me tell you, I grew up in Florida. I mean, granted, like it's more humid over there than actually hot, but I know what heat is. You know what I mean? And then my father, he lives in Las Vegas, where one of my very first times there, like the pilot was like, all right, we reach our cruising altitude. We're making it into Las Vegas. The temperature is now 115 degrees. And I'm just looking around like, did he just say 115 degrees? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So I know what hot is. And evidently it was never hot. So that's kind of like, it still blows my mind to this day about how that's even possible. But yeah, so as far as things being in another state, Breaking Bad taking place in another state, in my opinion, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. Even though, yes, having a winter aesthetic would be cool. I feel like it would, especially for like scene transitions and stuff like that. Could you just imagine like that scene where you see like the fried chicken and then it transitions into the meth? Could you imagine something like that when it's like snowing and then it transitions into the meth as well? Like I feel like that would be really cool. But as far as that everything else goes, it's whatever. I mean, speaking of which, speaking of that a snowy climate, I would really like to see what a like a Christmas episode would be like. Like, how could I make a Christmas Breaking Bad episode? It'll come to mind soon. It'll come to me sooner or later. Let's just take a look at this here chat really quick. Let's see here. Yeah, cold. Yeah, exactly. See, everyone is on board with that. Like, definitely a cold state. Yeah, because obviously it would just make sense. You know, because we see them in the heat, we see them in a pool. You know, we see them one or two scenes in the snow when he was during the episode of Granite State, and even in the finale. But yeah, you know, makes you it just really makes you think. Let's see here. Speaking of making you think, really quick, just kind of going off on a tangent, guys. I enjoy cooking, right? And I didn't that wasn't really good at it in the beginning, but I learned. And over time I learned how to make a lot of things. Tacos, chicken, subs, anything like steaks, chicken, I can make a lot of food. And I am like seriously considering I'm gonna do it. Yes, cooking, not meth. I ain't cooking that. I ain't cooking that stuff. I don't want that. But I've been considering buying some of this Los Pollos Hermanos seasoning and making my own chicken. You know what I mean? Like making my own Breaking Bad themed chicken and kind of filming a video about it. Like I don't have. I want to do something like that very very soon. Like honestly, I'm thinking about it. It's coming very soon. I don't know. I don't know what made me think. Honestly, yes, I do. I was just looking at the chat. And someone just said, "Yeah, it was my boy or girl. I'm not sure who you are." Yes, who was just like, "Yo, the fried chicken is so crispy and juicy." And I'm just like, I would like some fried chicken right now, especially in this weather, like where it's just pouring down rain. Oh God. Because I'll be honest, and again, this me going on another rant, but man, I don't like going out anymore. You know what I mean? Like I hate going anywhere, like especially to restaurants, and that's like fast food. Whoa, 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 hold on, Cass. Wait, Devin, you over for a second, just for a quick second. I thought it said like $55 or something like that. Shout out to my man Devin Quick, or woman Devin. Shout out to Devin. Let's see, $5 donation. Thank you very much for that. What we talking about here? One quick one. What if Tuco took Walter and Jesse to Mexico? If Tuco took Walter and Jesse to Mexico and they were not able to get that ricin inside of Tuco, honestly and truthfully, I personally believe, and I'm not, and everyone will swear this is a joke, but it's not. Jesse will die. Like, let's just fucking say it how it is. Jesse is gonna die in that situation. Let me just tell you why. I'm just gonna tell you why. Tuco loves Walter White already. Like, you can see him, like, he likes Walter, he respects him. He's like, yo, this guy got balls. He came to me. He's threatened to blow up my place. I like this guy. I respect this guy. Jesse, he beat up on at least two different occasions and literally almost tried to force giving Nodos mouth to mouth, knowing that this guy is fucking coughing up blood. Like, so immediately, even if they make it all the way to Mexico, of course, the first person that Tuco's going to introduce him to is Don Eladio, the cartel, the chemistry, the cooks, and the first thing that they're going to do, well, what can you do? Okay, I can cook meth very well. Okay, thank you very much, Walter White. I'm happy. I'm happy for that. What can you do, Jesse? I, yo, I can help. Like, bam. So and it'll be the same exact conversation Gus and Max were having with Don Eladio, yeah, and Jesse and Walter would have the exact same conversation. If you can cook meth, and make me money? Why do I need you? And in this situation, Jesse provides even less. What does Jesse even provide at that point? Because I feel like after Walter and Jesse's first or even second cook, yeah, Walter, yeah, I got this. I'm running the shots here. So, yeah. After that, I personally feel like the story would transition to somewhere. I made a video about it. I believe, it's like, hey, what if? Because I think was it Hector dying? I made a video about it. Like I'll link it in the chat. I'll put it. Matter of fact, I don't know if any you don't know remembers that, but I remember there it is right there. What if Hector Salamanca recovered? And yeah, in that situation, instead of Tuco, yeah. So Tuco did die, but Tuco did die. Matter of fact, I'm gonna post a video in the chat right now. Don't even worry, Devin. I don't know if you've seen this video or not, but if you didn't, I advise you get up on that, man. It's a good video. It's a really good video. So anybody in the chat, check that thing out right there, just for you, bro. And again, thank you for the $5 donation. Getting back to my rants about food, I hate going places, period. Whether it's McDonald's, Burger King, a chicken joint, Olive Garden, Chipotle, I hate them all. Let me tell you why I hate them all. Strictly for the fact that every single time I have to buy something, I feel like I'm wasting my money. Anybody ever felt that way? Like when you going somewhere to eat, like going out to eat, you know that it's gonna be a waste of money. Like you like, man, this is not even that good. The fries aren't even that fresh. It's not even that hot. You know what I mean? And then I gotta complain about it. Then I'm wasting time, I'm wasting money, I'm wasting effort, I'm wasting gas, I'm sitting in traffic. Bro, it is exhausting. And plus, not to mention, again, me living in the United States right now, but me living in the United States, you know, most of the fast food, most of the chains, or whatever the case, whatever you want to call it, most of those chains, they all have the same problem. I mean, the products and oil and stuff like that, it's like their suppliers when it comes to their ingredients in their food. And 9 times out of 10, they have some sort of seed oils and all these extra additives inside their foods and ingredients to make you fat, make you lazy, make you tired, it makes you just an inferior human being, basically. And for the past, maybe 2 or 3 months, maybe once every 2 weeks, I'll probably go out to eat somewhere. And that once every 2 weeks, I'm also reminded why I don't go out to eat. Because 9 times out of 10, especially, yes, inflation, but 9 times out of 10, I'm just like, I feel like I'm throwing money away. Because by the time I'm finished eating that food, am I full? No. Am I satisfied? I mean, it tasted kind of good for maybe 3 or 4 bites, but that's about it. You know what I mean? And I can't feel good about that knowingly going out to eat places. So for me, if I can give any advice to anyone listening right now who wants to save money and don't mind getting their hands dirty, when I say that, I mean, I ain't talking, we ain't fighting or anything, but man, just go to YouTube and type in meal prep ideas, and you're gonna find so many different home chefs tell you exactly what to do, exactly what to cook, and how to make it, and you're usually good for at least 4 or 5 days. And for me, fuck, that's awesome. And since I've been doing it, I've not only lost weight, because I mean, not saying I'm the hugest guy in the world, but abs are made in the kitchen, guys. So if you want to get some abs, you guys want to get an arm like this, you know what I mean? You want to get a giant fucking, no, just kidding. But you know what I mean? Hey, if you guys want to feel good about yourself, just make your food at home. Regardless of whatever it is, chicken and fries, burgers, tacos, whatever, you can make anything that they sell, you can make. Because why do you think they're selling it? You know what I mean? The only thing that's different between you making it and them making it is the fact that you have to come to them to make it, Thank you. Yeah. What the? Whoa. What is this? Oh, man. Is that $500? Whoa. Was that $500? Dude. Adam. Good Lord. I don't even know what to say. You got me flabbergasted, bro. Thank you. Thank you. That, oh my God. Thank you. Do you have a favorite human food? A favorite human? Oh, 500. All right, guys. Well, first off, let me know what that mean. What that 500 is in USD. I guess I don't know. I don't want to stop the chat just to do a whole bunch of research, but I'm just over here, just like mouth agape, just like holy fuck, like what Argentinian pesos? So $50, bro. That's amazing. Thank you. Seriously. Oh my God. Regardless, it looks like a lot of money. Like I'm gonna pretend like this is like Squid Game, where they were just like, yeah, here's like 10,000 won, and that just gets you like a bottle of beer or some shit like that. Regardless of whatever the case is, hey, I appreciate. Oh my god, yo, they are flaming you right now. It's okay, regardless of anything. Like, hey, I'll Google it later, whatever, bro. But Adam, I appreciate you, bro. Um, your question is what? What do you have a favorite human food? I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean by that? Like what? I think there's a better way to phrase that question. If your question is what I think you're asking, which is, hey, if your question is, hey, oh, that's really funny. That is really funny. Mm, I'm trying to figure out. I'm looking. I'm scrolling through the chat really quick because if your question to me is what is my favorite food to eat, I can answer that. But if you're like, hey, what is your favorite? If you're on some Hannibal Lecter type shit, I'm like, I don't, what the fuck? I don't know what that means. But no, I don't. Mr. Krabs is Mr. All right. I don't. I don't know. My favorite food is gonna be like for me, anyways. As far as food goes, it's definitely I definitely like a gyro. You know, I'm a big fan of gyros. Um, Greek food is always like that is always a plus. You know, like tzatziki, whatever. Um, and I'm a big fan of a burger. You know, like a really good burger. You know, smash burgers are fine, but I like a good burger. You know what I mean? I mean, seafood's great, but for me, like it's a smell, like that's just it. It's just really the smell of it, and I'm just like, that's. And maybe day one it's pretty awesome, but after that it's like and of course I like leftovers too. You know what I mean? So like I'm a big fan of either like I don't want my food to smell. Like closest as far as seafood I get, and this is just the broke boy inside me. Tuna fish and crackers is like just top tier food of choice for me. Like my struggle meal, like that's the meal. Like I love that shit. Like it's fucking awesome. But yeah, but when it comes to that food, I will always want to cook it myself. If only you lived in South Carolina, Southern California, you love the local burger joints. I would really like it, but it's too expensive over there, bro. I'm not sure. Look at here. When people say stuff along the lines of, "Oh man, it's just $26 for a burger," you said $26 for one burger. Are you out your? Are you stuff like that? I will no, I can't. You can't make it make sense. That's kind of like, okay, how can I make that's like saying, hey, I want to buy, like for me, I'm a big fan of arcade cabinets, the big arcade machines, like, arcade machines, and I would love to have one in my house just to like play like a racing game. And I've seen it online, it's maybe like around like 3 grand for a really good one that's sturdy and stuff like that. But when I think about like a justifiable purchase, I can't justify paying 3.5 grand for an arcade cabinet that I'm gonna play a racing game on maybe once every 4 or 5 months or something like that. I can't do that. Same way I can't pay $26 for one burger. It's impossible because even if it's the best burger I've ever had, I'm still gonna feel like I paid too much for it. And I'm not the type of person to be like, yeah, let me go ahead and put some gold flakes on my burger and shit, or let me get some fucking caviar. No, I don't like caviar. I don't even know what that is half the time. I think it's just eggs. And I'm not. Why would I want to eat gold for? What kind of fucking Austin Powers villain type shit is that? Like, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not anything. So let's just cut it right there. That's just not. It's just not for me. So hey, if you Ghost, if you're with it, paying that much money for the burgers and stuff, go for it. I mean, especially in California, I feel like the second your order is up, you can just take it and walk away and not pay and say I'm stealing it, because I hear crime over there is pretty. I hear crime over there is pretty rampant, but that's just me. Let me just see. Let's take a look at this here chat here really quick. Last person. Let's see here. Okay, food. Everyone likes food. Guys, it's like 50 cents, please. Yeah, Adam, I figured it out, okay? But let me tell you right now, looking at that, I'd be like, man, I'm, I'm, I seen that and I almost called my wife in here to be like, yo, babe, check it out, man. I made it, like that's how I would have felt like. Oh man. That's all I'm saying. But yo, I appreciate it either way. So thanks for that. Argentinian cash. Um, but hey, like Adam, dude, it all contributes to the same place. That's all I'm saying. So again, thank you very much. It was the best joke in the world, and it still kind of got my heart like fluttering a little bit. So thanks, bro. The Watcher. Eula the Watcher. Eula, damn, Eusta? Fuck, The Watcher. You know who you are. I seen your question about 30 minutes ago. Have I watched The Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? Yes, I have. And that show is really, really, really good. Like, probably one of the best Spider-Man shows I've watched in a really long time that I was actually engaged in. A lot of people are going to write it off immediately based off the animation. And I'm going to be honest, I was one of those people because I think I've only started watching it maybe when the third episode came out. Yeah, Forest Man. It's on Disney Plus. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. It's a really good Spider-Man show. Like honestly and truthfully, like, and I would have thought because hey, I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm not a big fan of the race swaps and the like let's fucking make this character this or let's do that. And immediately when I seen Black Norman Osborn and this influencer Harry Osborn, I was like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? It could be so easy. Like it's the easiest thing in the world to translate, but. I'm happy to say I was wrong, and I'm pleasantly happy to say that I was wrong because that show is awesome. And what makes it awesome, of course, because again, animation's not that great, but the writing is just the writing stands out. It honestly gave me vibes of like X-Men '97 type writing because I'm like, yes, this is how you do modern. This is how it's just a good show. And also, granted, it's like for like the YA audience, like the young adult audience. So maybe between the ages of, I don't know, like 9 and 17 or whatever. Like that's kind of like the demographic, but anybody can really watch it. And, I like the subjects that it tackles and I really fell in love with the characters. Like my boy, who the dude who came Tombstone, like Tombstone's in that show. And you see him start out as just a regular quarterback who actually isn't the stereotypical quarterback who actually wants to learn and shit like that. And I'm like, man, okay. And you see him slowly turn into what we'll see as Tombstone. Like, obviously, it's very much an origin show, but they flip everything on its head. And I could not be more happy to be wrong about that show. And let me tell you right now, Scorpion? Fuck. Like the best depiction of Scorpion I've seen in a really long time. And because he was actually scary. He was this crazy, unhinged Hispanic man in the Scorpion Iron Man suit. Granted, if he was fighting someone like an Iron Man or anyone, like he is very exposed. Like he is so exposed. But because he was fighting Spider-Man, especially the first Spider-Man, it just worked. And I agree. Nacho beat the shit out of Spider-Man. He would have almost killed Spider-Man if it wasn't for the mystery, this mystery glider in the, it was good. Like honestly, like at least top 10, like, and there's like a million Spider-Man shows. I would honestly put it above Spectacular Spider-Man. Come at me if you want. Better than Ultimate Spider, because again, the story just made sense and it didn't feel like, even though there was some filler in the show, it didn't feel like filler. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like it kind of just felt like everything was moving towards something. And I'll be honest, the very last episode, I was like, okay, finding out the actual origin. Yes, I am going to spoil this, full spoilers, by the way, but Last episode I really wasn't the biggest fan of about changing Spider-Man's origin to this bootstrap paradox shit. So I mean, I was just like, yeah, it could have been better. But overall, great show. You know, it's been a really great year for animation so far in the year 2025. I do have to give that mention that my one of my mentions again to Invincible because Invincible season 3, great animation on the last episode was 10 out of 10. Favorite, Jesus, you know what I mean? And I'd seen somewhere in the chat where someone wanted to get Conquest versus Walter Jr. I'm just gonna pretend like we didn't see that because let's be honest here. What is Junior gonna? Uh, no, it's just a no. Like what do you even do with a comparison like that? Like are we serious? Are we looking at the same thing? You see what he did to Oliver? You you what do you think you're gonna do to Walter Jr.? You're gonna hit him so hard that his leg's gonna start working. That's what's gonna happen. Like he's gonna be able to run like the Flash or some shit. Um, personally, okay, what we got here for us, man? I'm personally not really in the superhero genre that much, but Batman is exceptional. I like Batman the same way I like Sherlock Holmes. Okay, well, I'm really curious on what you think about the most recent Batman with Robert Pattinson. Personally, I didn't like it. I'll say it. I didn't like that recent Batman movie, and now like the Batman 2, when is that one coming out? Because it's been almost like 6 years and we got nothing in response from that. So I don't know, but I personally thought that Batman movie was a little whack. It was slow. It was boring. I felt like it was 40 minutes too long. Yes, it had good action scenes, and yes, it was very unique Batman. But overall, like I was like, yeah, this shit needs to get tightened up a little bit more because I've never seen a movie that had so much of the superhero not doing superhero things. And you've seen a lot of Batman in this movie, but he didn't, he was just standing around, just ambling around. And I'm just like, we need more than this, you know. Like I get the tone they were going for, but it's just personally not really for me. Um, but oh yeah, I recently watched the show too, guys. I watched that show. It's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure a lot of people seen it. Oh, I see. We're still talking about Batman. Okay, well, what do you think of the Batman? The animated Batman the animated series was one of the greatest cartoons of all time. Maybe one of the first ones I've ever watched as a child. You know, I remember it was even one of the scariest, in my opinion, the scariest episode of Batman the animated series is when he was going against the puppet guy who had like the little puppet. And I remember when that episode came on, like I had to literally shield my eyes as a kid because I was like, oh, I couldn't watch it. Like I genuinely couldn't watch it. Like it was crazy. Oh, Dylan, huh, man, I love you too, bro. Like, thank you. That makes me happy. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. But yeah, greatest show ever. The best Batman show. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Batman the Animated Series is the best Batman show. I'm not gonna speak on that Batman the Cape Crusader show because, from all accounts, personally, I'm not a big fan because again, they made the Penguin a woman, which I'm like, why would you do that? And not only that, but a fat woman who loves sex and stuff like that. And I'm just like, nothing wrong with being fat, nothing wrong with sex, but we know what the Penguin is, and when you try to give someone the most obvious gender swap of all times, even with the fucking laziest name. Oh, it's not Oswald Pike Cobblepot. It's Oswina. How lazy can you get? You know, you couldn't Olivia. It couldn't be anything like that. No, it had to be an Oswina Cobblepot. I'm just like, why are we doing this shit? You know, I think I seen someone where they were just like, yeah, let's do a female Edward Scissorhand. Let's call her Edwina. I'm just like, are we that fucking lazy? We can't even huh? It's just dumb shit, you know, like that. That's annoying to me, you know, like I hate it. Let's see, what? Do you like tail game? I don't know what that means. But yeah, and also, just to kind of, damn, I had an idea at it was the tip of my tongue, and there it is, right there. Speaking of the Penguin show though, great, great, great cinema. Like that right there. No, I haven't watched My Adventures of Superman, but I have watched The Penguin. And let me tell you right now, anyone who has not watched The Penguin, watch The Penguin because you don't need to watch The Batman to understand what the show is about. You know, like you understand everything. And let me tell you right now, you will never fall more in love with a character than hate him all throughout the entire series. Like, I could not. Oh my God, a skinny payment, bro. I'm sorry. I could not get over how good that show was. Like, bro, Penguin, the show. Shantae, you're back. Wait, is it? Chat, help me out. Is this the same Shantae who was being, you know, last time I went live? Help me out. Help me understand really quick. But before that happens, how long does it take to roughly complete a what if video? Blah, 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 blah. Trying to become a YouTuber, and I spend hours editing. Dylan Hudson. Dylan Hudson, let me tell you right now, bro. As far as my turnaround time goes, it can be different because keep in mind, bro, I do work 2 jobs and I do have a family and stuff like that. So when it comes to my turnaround time as a video, I spend a lot of time not sleeping as much as I should. But overall, as far as it goes, I would say maybe it takes about a good, if I'm like completely on it, maybe a good 3 or 4 days to write a script. Then about and then from there I just edit. I record it, which give or take, depending on how you like. How would I say this? I have a, and I'll never release that, but I have like a lot of like outtakes when it comes to like the stuff that I record because I can't. I mess up on a line, and like let's just say that my recording sessions usually last about an hour and 30 minutes and stuff. But I'm only out of the hour and 30 minutes, I'm scraping out only 16 minutes of actual audio. So there's that. Then from there I edit this. I edit the after the audio is edited. Then I just get some clips from the movies and stuff and the shows and stuff. And bada boom, bada bing. I put it all together. I make it look good, and boom. So you're looking at maybe about like a week or maybe 8 days, depending, give or take. I'll be honest. Yeah, that's it. That's about right, Ryan. So, but hey, again, I have a lot of stuff holding me back from being a lot more as productive than I like to. So, yeah, do it at your own risk. Like because I'm sure there's a lot of people who can make videos a lot faster than I can. So hey, dude, if you want to do it, the best advice I can give to anyone about wanting to start a channel is just start. Because you're gonna get so caught up in the planning phase of things that you're gonna be intimidating. You're gonna be intimidating yourself when actually starting things because when it actually starts, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be exactly the way you planned it to be. So just give it your shot, bro, because if you don't, you're always going to be wondering, what if? Oh, that's funny. Random question: What's the most disturbing movie I've ever watched? I don't know. It's probably one of the Terrifier movies. I mean, The Substance is a pretty disturbing movie as well. But no, no, one of the most. Oh, hold on, let me ask you, Mr. Balboa. One of the most disturbing movies I watched. It was actually called Green Inferno or the Green Room or the Green something. It's like when a bunch of protesters go to like an indigenous place out in the Amazon and they end up getting captured and cooked alive at some, like getting tortured, and they end up basically being eaten because they're cannibals and one person gets away and blah, blah, blah. It's a really, like, that's the kind of movie that's like, I am not going to the jungles. I'm not talking to anyone who's wearing a fucking loincloth. No, because what they did, like, oh my God, like, it was sad. Like, I was like, like, there's some movies that give you that reaction where you're just like, oh God. Like, I mean, The Terrifier gave you that as well, but you kind of knew it was like this over the top shit. But when you see an actual scenario that you can actually put yourself in, where you're just like, yeah, we got our little book bags and our little cameras and our suntan lotion and stuff. And next thing you know, we cross the try with people over there. Shantae, you getting blocked, bro. I'm sorry. You did it to yourself. Yeah. Yeah, you did it to yourself. I'm sorry. Put you in timeout forever. Um but yeah, so that's how I feel about that. For me, it's Midsummer. I've seen Midsummer as well. And it is a disturbing movie, especially the scene where I guess this dude's having sex with this one woman, and there's like her whole ancestry watching and stuff like that. It's kind of weird. And then when the old people, I guess I'm just spoiling shit. I guess when the old people just jumped off a rock head first and died, and I'm just like, oh shit. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. But see, and it's funny because like when I have movies like that, I'm just like, that's an imagine. Like I think sometimes I think I'm like, yeah, I got a crazy imagination, and then you see something like that, and you're just like, that person needs to go to jail. I'm sorry, you deserve to go to jail. What? Why would you think of something like this? Did you do this? So hey, but I don't know. Let's see here. Have I ever seen the Boondocks? Are you serious? Bro, I grew up with that show. Like that was my shit. Oh man. Like I like that. I was just talking. Funny enough, I was just talking about that show just yesterday with my boy Caleb. It was the guy when they did the whole To Catch a Predator one. He was just like, "Oh, hey, Chris Hansen. I call you Chris Handsome. I ain't looking for no child. I'm looking for a man's butt." Don't clip that. And they were like, we can do this easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours. Like, like, oh my God. So, hey, I love that show, man. All right, cheer me out. You should do What If Ben Affleck Daredevil met Henry Cavill Wolverine. Um, maybe. Maybe. Oh yeah, The Watcher. Yeah, you see, that's why I love The Watcher because The Watcher keeps me, gets me right back on track. Talking about the Avengers Doomsday casting announcement. First of all, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. When I initially first heard about it, because I got a lot of stuff going on. Well, when I initially first heard about it, I saw it as a 2 minute and 24-second video, and it was all just the chairs. And I'm just like, okay, I recognize some of these people, but not all of them. Yeah, what's good, Ryan? But I recognize some of these people, but not all of them. I see Ian McKellen there. I see Vanessa Kirby. I'm like, okay. We got the Fantastic Four. We got the X-Men. We got some Avengers. We got the new Falcon for some strange reason. But we don't have Alan coming. But we don't have Captain America. We don't have any of the Captain Americas. No Chris Evans. No Anthony Mackie. We don't have the Vision. We don't have Wanda Maximoff. I get it. She's dead, but like. They do have Gambit. Yeah, Thor is there, bro. Thor is literally the first chair that you see. I'm just throwing it out there, Ghost. You might want to delete that comment. I'm just saying I would. But like they have a lot of good characters out there and a lot of good casting, but I gotta be honest, man. I don't care. Like it's not exciting to me. One, because I went on a million and five rants about the last Captain America movie that was just trash, and I'll never forgive Marvel for making that trash, bro. Like, hold on, no Anthony Mackie. Yep, first one. What? No, Anthony was the first. Oh, actually, really? Okay, well then I think I'm gonna be looking back. Okay, then I think I'm going to be looking back at that stupid announcement. But yeah, I did not watch 5 hours of that shit. I don't understand how people would have. I would have been like, yeah, the second I would have seen the first chair, and they would have been like, yeah, wait 30 minutes for the second chair. I'm like, oh, I get it. Yeah, I'm not watching this. Click off. No, like, because it was a 5 hour stream looking at chairs. What do you, like, it just, again, just to me, the nostalgia, yeah, we're living through nostalgia at this point. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, okay, well, that was just 10 movies ago. And then not only that, but you have the people that you're introducing. That should have been something that they introduced during Deadpool and Wolverine so it could make more sense. Granted, yes, you have Gambit here, but why are you including Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen and the half of the cast of the X-Men? That part doesn't make any sense to me because Rebecca Romaine, if I'm not mistaken, that's Mystique. And the last time we see Mystique was in the X-Men The Last Stand. And what happens in the X-Men The Last Stand? She gets shot with the cure. So why? Why would she even be there? Yeah. Oh, and if you say this is another universe, how? Where's Wolverine at? Why didn't they include Hugh Jackman in it? And so yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I personally, I feel like this was just a desperate attempt to draw up some sort of hype for the movie that is frankly just not there. People are not, nobody cares anymore because they gave us no reason to care. Again, as far as Captain America goes, if you made this man Captain America in an Endgame that happened 6 years ago at this point, you could have had him in more stuff. Because that way you could have solidified him as Captain America. But you didn't. Instead, you made a Hulk movie and put Captain America in it. And honestly, you could take Captain America out of it and it would be the exact same movie. That's a problem. Professor X, he died in Logan. He died in X-Men 3. He died in Multiverse of Madness. At a certain point, when you include these characters again and again and again, and the only purpose they serve is to die, it's not interesting. It kind of gets old, and it really feels like you're just dangling keys in front of us. Basically, like, hey, remember him? Remember Professor X? I'm like, of fucking course I remember him. Last time we seen him, you killed him. That's the same thing you guys did with Kang the Conqueror. How that turned out for you? It turned out that this guy, allegedly, and I don't even know if it's alleged at this point because he has an actual recording of himself saying it, which, brother, come on. Shit, like, so there's that. So at the end of the day, when I'm looking at this casting announcement, it just seems desperate. It's like, hey, remember we're Marvel Universe. We were the greatest universe for the past 10 years, and we should have stopped at Endgame, but geez, we're gonna keep going on because, hey, we might as well keep going. Just like, just stop. It's okay to stop. Like same with Star Wars. Just give it a break. Let us miss it for a while and then come back. But we can't do that because we got the greediest fucking corporate executives on the fucking planet trying to up their profits from last year when it was just a failed year. That's the thing I don't understand about corporations, period. They base their profits on the profits they made today versus the profits they made last year on the same day. And if the profits they made last year is more than the profits they made this year, oh, they didn't make any profits, it's a bad year. But you guys, at some point, you guys got to understand, as long as you made more money on a project than you lost, that is a profit. How much more profit? I mean, you can't really put a number on that. You know what I mean? So, it's just annoying. And then what they're doing to cut corners, it's just like, okay, hey, we're gonna use AI to write scripts. It's like, why would we do that? We know that's not a good idea. Yeah, but we're gonna make some money. I'm like, tell that to literally every one of those Marvel movies without Spider-Man. Morbius, Venom, Madam Web, Craven. I've watched Craven actually the other day because it's on Netflix now. And let me tell you, that movie, I don't even know what that movie's about. I just feel like that movie's just stuff happens in the movie. Same with Venom 3. I hate Venom 3, but it's on Netflix, so hey, well, I need something to watch in the background when I'm editing. But that's just the thing. It's just like these movies there's just no creativity in it. And at the same time, it's like when they release games and stuff like that. You want us to play at the full price of a game or the full price of a movie when it's not even done. This shit could have used some more tweaking. But no, you guys want to hit quotas and demands and be like, yeah, they're going to like it anyway. It's like, people have woken up at this point, and now you guys want to give us this subpar shit, and they think like, yeah, we're gonna eat it all up, and it's like, no, because for me, like it got to be a movie that I am desperate to see, and if I want to actually see it in the movie theater and stuff like that. And right now, like, it's nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. Like TV. Granted, TV is destroying stuff, but I mean, TV is only going to be for maybe between like 3 to 12 weeks at max, because TV shows aren't really year round, you know what I mean? They're only here for maybe the better half of a month, and that's it, but if I am going to talk about TV shows and Netflix, I guess the thing I wanted to go talk about is that newest Netflix show called Adolescence. Anybody ever heard of that show? Adolescence, give me some, let me get some hearts in the chat if you heard of the show Adolescence before. Come on, guys. I cannot be the only one who's watched this shit. Okay. We got some. Okay, cool. Heard of it, Adam? No, okay. Adolescence is a show about a young boy who kills a girl, and basically it's something red pill community, something else. But, um, oh shit. But yeah, something red pill, all that good stuff. It's a very unique show for the fact that it's like every episode. It's only 4 episodes, and yeah, I almost fell. It's only 4 episodes, and every single episode is just literally one take. Something that I am so jealous of. Like I was like, I can't even imagine the everything that goes into something like that. And I seen something where they had basically like the show's an hour long, so if one person messes up, everybody's starting over. The coordination is just amazing to me. Like I cannot. Oh fuck, I couldn't even put myself in that situation. But yeah, good show. Definitely watch it. Especially you watch it with subtitles because this it's like the Scottish. It's kind of like the Scottish accent. I can't really nail down on it, but yeah, good show. Really enjoyed it. I can't really say anything else about it because I mean, half you guys, if you guys didn't watch it, so yeah. But anyways, have you seen Birdman? Sam Gimmick. Birdman, is that the one with Michael Keaton in it? Tatiana. Any thoughts on doing what ifs on the Dark Knight trilogy? Thomas, help me out here. Okay, like what? Like like if I do it, yeah, okay. I didn't see Birdman, but I'll check that. I want to check it out. I haven't seen, yeah, like I haven't seen it, but yeah, definitely want to get on that. As far as me doing any what ifs on the Dark Knight trilogy, I mean, again, like what, bro? Like, what if the Joker was in the Dark Knight Rises? That's that's a good one, I guess, maybe because fuck. Um, huh. What about anime? Oh man, fudge. I'll be honest, guys. I'm not really an anime person. Like I get the references and stuff like that, but like the only anime I would say that I watched would be Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball. I didn't. I mean, I've kind of stopped watching the most recent one when Goku turned into a baby or whatever, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's fucking Cause they literally just made Dragon Ball GT again, but they made it canon. And I know they did a whole bunch of other stuff in the show that I didn't watch and probably don't plan on watching because the timeline is just off because it goes from Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball Daima and then Dragon Ball Super, and it's kind of like, okay, well, you have access to the Super Saiyan 4 transformation, so why not the fuck? So it doesn't make a lot of sense in my opinion half the time when I watch stuff like that. So I just don't. And it's just a lot to keep up with. Like Attack on Titan, dope. Samurai Champloo, dope. My daughter is really crazy about Blue Eye Samurai. I haven't watched it yet, but I'll definitely get up on that. And the One Piece, I've tried, I'll be honest. It's off and on for me. Like I've never watched it all the way through. I'm not up to date. I don't know what's happening, but I know what One Piece is. I know about Luffy and the Gum Gum Fruit and Zoro and all this other people. Like I get that, yes, but I'm not caught up. And yeah, I think that's about all the animes that I know. Minecraft movie, trash. Never even gonna even. I'm not even gonna give it a chance. Same way, like the same way I looked at that Snow White movie and stuff with the shitty animation dwarfs and stuff like that. Minecraft movie is what I look at that like as well. I'm like, what is this and who is it for? You realize that there's actually people who play Minecraft. Why would they? I'm sorry, I don't play Minecraft. I don't think I've ever played around. Again, I've seen it. I know what it is, but never played it. I don't even think the people who know what Minecraft is. Why you wanted that? Like, did anybody play Minecraft? And if you did, do you want this? Is when you see this Minecraft movie trailer, is that what you imagine the Minecraft movie to be? Because me looking at it straight up, I'm just like, this should have been an animated movie. Just like the square pigs and stuff like that. I'm just like, this doesn't even look good. It just looks like a bunch of people running around in a green screen. Like seriously. And then you got Jack Black, who just, I'm sorry, but I'm tired of him. You know what I mean? Like, is he the best person you could have gotten for this role? Like, you could have, I'm sure I can't think of anybody right now, but I'm sure there's people who could have filled this role way better than he can because he's old. And he got this fucking flared out beard that's just fun. I'm not trying to hate on him, but it's just like, is this what you guys want to see? Because when we seen him in Jumanji, we heard him in Kung Fu Panda, we heard him in the Mario movie, and it's like, ugh, I'm Steve. Just like, you're just Jack Black. Because when people watch this movie, they're gonna be like, they're not gonna say that's Minecraft Steve. They're gonna say that is Jack Black. You know who would have been good? Now thinking about it, John Cena. Just saying, I'm not saying he's a thespian or anything, but he would have fit the role better because I feel like John Cena got some good comic timing. That's just me. But I'm sorry, no, I'm not watching a Minecraft movie. I'm not even gonna watch it ironically, maybe I'm gonna check out like some clips and some people reviews and stuff like that. But no, we're not doing that shit, bro. Like, seriously, we can't. What else we got here? Yes, exactly. Jack Black is literally he's probably just doing Jumanji again because nothing there is real. I mean, granted, I've seen some of the behind the scenes where yeah, they brought some stuff out there, but if we're being honest here, everybody knows that movie, even if the sets are real, is gonna be dripped in CGI to the point where you're just like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. Your stomach's probably gonna hurt after you're done watching that movie because you're like, why the fuck we got square fried chicken? Like, it looks dumb. That's why it should have just been animated like the video game, or like the Super Mario movie, or like the Lego movie. It could have been anything like that, but they were like, yo, let's make it real. Let's give Jason Momoa this fringe haircut and have some random black lady and some random kids in it. Like, is this really what you guys want to see? No. I'm pretty sure nobody in that cast has actually played Minecraft. I'll put money on that shit. And if they did, they're lying. That's how I say it, straight up. Let me see. Yeah, and yes, as far as those wrestling actors do go, I mean, Dave Bautista, The Rock, John Cena. Who am I missing? Dave Bautista, The Rock, John Cena. I mean, Stone Cold was in a movie at one point. Kane was in a movie at one point. But at the very top, yeah, it's definitely Dave Bautista. Because in my opinion, I fucking hate the Rock as an actor is just, to me, is just annoying. You know what I mean? He's an annoying a figure. Like, he's just, because he is just like Jack Black. He just plays the Rock. He's just the buff guy who throws his eyebrow up and says these little quippy one-liners when probably in actuality he doesn't really know what to say a lot of times because he's just a meathead that's filled with steroids and just works out for like 20 hours a day. I'm not trying to hate on any actor, but it's just like he's annoying. Like, I hate hearing them talk. Dave Bautista, I feel like, is the greatest of these wrestling actors. John Cena is a close second. Then I'll put The Rock there because at least John Cena, he has Peacemaker. He's funny. Dave Bautista, he's skinny now. Like, you see him, you don't even recognize that man, and he has range. He can play more than just a big guy. So, and that movie, Knock at the Cabin, when he was like the Four Horsemen or some shit like that. Great movie. He played like some second grade teacher or whatever the case is. It was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. It was awesome. And I'm like, man, this guy can really do something. So I'm excited, super excited for whatever he has next. So definitely gonna keep my eye out for Mr. Batista. What else? Yeah, see, and according to the chat, yeah, everybody agrees. The new Snow White movie, I'm just gonna say it right now, for Devin Meadows, don't even want to give it a try. I usually like listening to like even I usually like listening to people give reviews on movies and stuff like that. First, I didn't even know that movie came out. And second, until I started seeing like the thumbnails. And secondly, when I started seeing like reviews, I'm like, I think I can skip this because I'm not even interested in it. You know, like I oh shit. I followed the controversy pretty, I followed the controversy like everyone else did about, Rachel Zegler saying, like shitting on the original and being unpleasant and saying the whole free Palestine thing and stuff like that. And I seen all that and I'm just like, I don't, I'm not interested in it. I just felt nothing for the movie. Like literally the example of if this movie did not need to exist. No, I mean, no movies need to exist, but this one really doesn't need to exist because I didn't even. Yeah, I don't even know if I watched the original, but I know what it is. The poison apple, the seven dwarfs, the blah blah blah. Is there a dragon in it? I'm not sure, but like I get it, but I'm just like it's just not even an interesting princess story there. Just for me, but I just never. It was just not interesting to me at all. And again, maybe the media made it worse. I'm not gonna. I don't really know for sure, but definitely just a shit movie. Who would want who like that's the thing I think of a lot. I'm like, who is this shit made for? Because I didn't ask, like, who did you ask for this? Because and then the feminism aspect of it all by let's make the prince of the movie in the original a thief. Okay, talk about being modernized. Like okay, so the uh, it's just not for me. And again, my daughter, she's grown, she's not gonna watch this shit. No one's gonna watch this shit. No one why would you want to? Out of all the options that there are, especially if there is the original, right? That's exactly how I felt about the Lion King movie, the most recent one actually. I didn't watch it, but funny enough, it actually came on Disney Plus sometime this week or last week. I put it on, and I swear to you, I could not watch more than maybe 10 minutes of it, being like, yeah, let's just. I'm just gonna put a Spider-Man 3 on again. I'm sorry, I love Spider-Man 3. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3. A lot of people shit on it, but personally, I love that movie. My wife does too. That's about one of the best movies I have in the background on. But I would rather just watch Spider-Man 3 again. I'm not watching this Mufasa movie, this Simba, Lion King, whatever the fuck it is, with these disgusting looking animals. Like, have you seen Timon and Pumbaa and how they look? They look like trash. This shit looks gross. Like, I don't want to watch this movie. It's like the singing's whatever. The story is just not there. Like, who nobody's asking for this shit. You know what I mean? And it's again, the literal definition of just milking the franchise until nothing. Because I'm pretty sure sometime in the future, remember this live if I'm still alive, but I'm guessing in maybe 5-10 years down the line, because they got Beyonce's daughter in fucking The Lion King now, I bet they're gonna make another Lion King movie starring her, but it's gonna be like a remake of The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, the cartoon. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm 100% positive they're gonna be like, let's try this Lion King shit one more time. We got Beyonce, so let's get Blue Ivy or whatever, and you know what? We're gonna make Simba's Pride. We're gonna make that movie now. I guarantee it. Because they're gonna be like, yo, we're gonna get in the young audience with with Beyonce's daughter and blah blah blah, and it's gonna be a shitty movie still. Sometimes things need to die, and other times people just need to just be like, all right, let's just do nothing for a bit and see what we can come up with instead of just trying to race swap something from a black Little Mermaid to a white one or a Spanish Snow White or the CGI dwarves or let's make this inconsistent prequel story of Mufasa. Like it's just garbage. And that's one of the reasons why, and honestly, I'm happy that I can be a quote content creator and just write my own scripts. And it honestly warms my heart when I get comments and people's like, yo, like this right here is what Hollywood needs. Like, yeah, like you should be writing for the Hollywood scripts and stuff like that. And I'm like, fuck, man, I would love to, I would really love to. And now, thank you for appreciating it. Because it's like, I'm like, wow, could I do a better job? I never want to think that I can do a better job than the actual professionals. But when you're thinking about it now, you're just like, are they professionals or are they just like me, just with a badge around their neck? You know what I mean? Um, yeah. Uh, huh. Okay. Okay. I ate something. Okay. Do I have any original scripts? I have a few original scripts, and but nothing like actually written down completed wise, anyways. Because a part of me wants to make it, but a part of me also is going to be like, I'm probably going to like, I guess, make more like audio based content, because I want to, like, because I feel like I have a vivid writing style where when I can write something down and you can just like listen to it like in a podcast form or something, and you can picture it all in your mind, like I feel like I have that ability. But yeah, so I want to do that, but I just don't know how those stories are going to do, because if they're super original, like, hey, this is what I'm working on with, I'll be honest, if I do, I'm probably going to make it, like, it's probably going to be something I put like in my membership for the membership channel and stuff like that, just to kind of have, I don't know, just to say, hey guys, here's some original stuff, I want some feedback, so that's what I plan on doing with that. I just saw your upload. Yep. Just saw your new upload thumbnail. Very funny. But yeah, Tatiana, as far as but yeah, as far as my original content, like as far as the genre goes, it's more like a. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really have. It's not a lot. Just saying. Maybe I lied to you just now, but it's just not a lot. So I'm gonna, like, but I'm definitely gonna start, because I got some ideas. Like, don't get it twisted. And if it takes me, and just imagine, if it takes me like 3 or 4 days to write like an original. I mean, granted, Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad content, it's kind of like I'm basically piggybacking off of that. But if I can still write a cohesive story in less than a week and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure I can write my own as well. So I'll keep that in mind. What's the premise? Sci-fi. To be honest, I had an idea, kind of like thinking about like, I ain't telling you that shit. I had an idea thinking about like the sci-fi concept of years into the future. There's the entire solar system was colonized, and every planet has their rulers on it and stuff like that. But then you have Pluto, who's like this underdog planet, but maybe they're like the strongest. They're like a warrior race because they're so far away from everyone. They're the strongest, but they can't really do anything because they're so far away. And maybe people in Pluto are killers, and they want to basically make the entire universe into their image, and kind of like make them like Viltrumites, but like imagine like a Viltrumite MAGA crossover kind of deal. Those kind of people, you know what I mean? Very extreme, very extreme, but at the same time a warrior race. And now it's like, yeah, they want to take over the universe, and maybe a lot of people aren't really with that. So there's that, but then you also have, so it's kind of like depicting the story of the underdog, but is the underdog really the underdog? Like maybe they're the underdog for a reason, or maybe they're there for a reason, you know what I mean? So something like that. Yeah, Pluto's a planet, all that good shit. How old's the wife and kids? You're not gonna know that, buddy. What happens when I run out of Breaking Bad what ifs? I mean, hey, I'm slowly expanding it, like you see I got some Marvel content in there. I got some stuff here and there. And my plan is basically to kind of be more of a shout out to Unwanted Ghost, man. I mean, it's like, yeah, that's my boy. Yo. I fucks with that guy. But my plan would basically be to once I get the free time, basically do like a Breaking Bad what if, then kind of do like a Marvel, DC, Invincible, like a what if off of whatever, and I'll, even ask like the members of the chat, like the members of the Heisenverse or something, be like, okay, hey, what should be the next video I do? And if it is going to be something I haven't seen before, like a Dexter or a Walking Dead or a Severance season 2 or something like that, then I'll guess I have to watch it. Like so that's ideally the plan. So I'll get there sooner or later. Um, hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I think it's been real. I think it's been nice. I think it's been amazing, to be honest with you guys. And I think this is going to. I have not watched Mr. Robot. It's gonna maybe soon, maybe one day. But I'm gonna give you guys maybe like one more minute of questions before I call it a day. I'm kind of hungry. I'm gonna make some chicken Alfredo later. Yeah, see, stuff you can't get at Olive Garden. Oh wow, look at that! Shout out to Puzzled to Pieces, guys. If you guys see this Puzzled to Pieces, they commented. Show them so much love. Give them a subscribe. That's actually my wife. So if you follow that channel, if you support her, you support me. So go ahead and do that. Mango habanero chicken salad is a nice recipe. Okay, well, shit, man. Oh my god, have you heard of the Zelda films? Is that the one starring Tom? Is that supposed to be starring Tom Holland? Hopefully not. I did read the Invincible comics. They are. I like the comics, but the show is adapting very well. And apparently, according to the showrunner of Invincible, he's Robert Kirkman. He's basically looking at the show kind of like a second draft. So he's basically working on storylines that he wasn't able to initially tackle in the comics that he wrote, I think, in the early 2000s. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go on some of these storylines here. And I mean, I can't wait for that. It's going to be pretty cool. Aw. She said her channel's pathetic. Guys, everybody in this chat, all 26 of you, well, 25 technically. Oh, oh man, coming back with the 100 Argentinian money again. Shout out to Adam. Oh man, rounding me off at $12.04. Guys, thank you very much for coming to the live. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate everyone was here. I hope I answered all your questions. I hope I was able to provide some entertainment for the past 86 minutes and 86 minutes. Thank you, Adam. Why are you trying to lie about the price tag? This guy. I mean, trust me. I mean, I see Adam's little thingy or whatever the case is, but the actual money's coming through right now. And let me tell you right now, my boy's making it hail on me with some quarters, dimes, and nickels from Argentina. Oh man. But thank you everybody for the support. Thank you very much, Puzzled to Pieces. I appreciate you, baby. I'll see you in the very soon. Yeah, so go ahead, feel free to become a member, donate to the channel if you can, or if you'd like to. Either way, it's all good. I appreciate you guys coming through, and we're gonna do this again very, very soon. Who knows when exactly? Can't really say, but I'll give you guys an update soon. With all that being said, my name has been Merge. Peace.